Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. We are live. This is Real Talk with Mary Grace. It is Tuesday, the 20th of April, 2021. I hope everybody's having a great day. It looks like there might be a little bit of delay on my end on the video, so I apologize. I don't know if it's my internet. I don't know what's going on. Everything just seems to be dragging a little bit. So come on in and welcome, 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 welcome. I've been on a trip. I was in Tulsa. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a few minutes. So, as you're coming in, it looks like we have choppy sound. Yeah, so just say a prayer because I logged out in, not really sure what's going on. Let me see if I can figure this out. Yeah, there's isn't it great? You pay for these programs and then things just don't work. Uh Hopefully it'll start working. Let me just see what I got here. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Don't know. Let me just. Okay. I'm just going to keep talking. Is my mic plugged in all the way? Let me check that. It seems like I'm having a little delay on the video as well. And when I first logged in to Restream, it took a long time to cycle up. So I don't know if it's cookies on my computer or anything like that. Video is blurry. Okay, so we take a week off and Restream is acting up. Do I need to start over? Maybe I just need to log out and come back in. Now I'm blurry. Am I blurry? Okay, I'm going to ask you a yes or no question, but I need you to answer by saying yes, blurry, or no, not blurry. Because if you just say yes, I don't know what you're talking about. So am I blurry on Facebook? Am I blurry? And am I blurry on YouTube? YouTube, am I blurry? I really think it's an issue with Restream. Now I don't see any chat at all. Not blurry on YouTube. No, not blurry on Facebook. Yes, blurry on YouTube. So maybe it's you guys. I don't know. Not blurry on Facebook. All right, we're going to keep going. I think this is just back. So we're just going to keep going. Not blurry on Periscope or on okay, listen, if you don't have glasses on, you don't answer. All right. So it's clearing up on YouTube. Yeah, if you forgot your glasses, you can't answer this. Now, um, hey Michelle, so glad to see you on YouTube. Your comment. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna keep going. We'll just my intercessors just pray that that it clears up because I don't want to start again. I just want to keep going. I've got a lot of content to cover and do the best we can. So I hope every weekend. As you know, I was in Tulsa. I was at the Health and Freedom Conference, and that is the conference that was put on by Clay Clark, Reopen America. I wore my T-shirt. Clay Clark's Reopen America tour. Okay, there you go. Reopen America. Pretty cool. They gave these to us, and they were giving out T-shirts the whole time. So a lot. Most of you guys were watching some of this, and I wanted to give a couple of shout outs to people. So this conference, I think Clay Clark had the original idea. He has a podcast called the Thrive Time Show, and he is a business coach. He's sort of like a Gary Vee or a Grant Cardone. He's in that vein. So he does a lot of business coaching. He's a big franchise trainer, things like that. And he has really been very outspoken about a lot of the things with the pandemic. And so he did have this conference. And originally he was going to have it at a convention center with about, I think, 400 people. And then Ann Vandersteel, Steel Truth, Jen, you can find her at steeltruth.com. She and producer Liz jumped in, and she has just a massive network. And before the thing had exploded to over 4,500 attendees. and they had a waiting list of over 50,000. Yes, you got that right. 50,000 people wrote and tried to get tickets after the fact. And so I just want to give a shout out to Anne, because it was because of Anne. Actually, producer Liz sent me the invitation, or when they first started, and I ended up, I got my ticket, and then and I got, I think, the last hotel room at the original venue where Anne and producer Liz and some other people were staying. And so and then this is so exciting. I really just want to give a shout out to Anne, because she has been so kind and so generous, and she has worked tirelessly to bring so many people together in this movement, and it's just really starting to pay off for her and for all the hard work she's done. I was with her 3 years ago. She just started Steel Truth, and we were online buying domain names and doing all the groundwork that you do when you start a new venture. And so she's gone from that to just this massive, amazing conference that they put on. And so that was amazing. And then she so she invited me to come, and then she also invited me and invited me to the VIP meet and greet dinner on Thursday night. A lot of you have seen pictures from that, with pictures of General Flynn and Mike Lindell and Lynn Wood. That's where that picture came from. And and so um so she invited me to that, and then she got me, and the people that we were with, her friends and I, were given VIP tickets for the event, and it was just amazing. It was so generous and so kind, and so I really wanted to give a shout out to her. And so please just make sure that you check in with her, and if you're on her show, if you're in the chat, just make please acknowledge her and producer Liz for being part of bringing together such an amazing, incredible event, and specifically, just for facilitating everything that she did for me to be involved. I made some incredible connections. I'm just unbelievable, amazing people this weekend. And it was because of Anne and producer Liz, because of them just being faithful to plant the seeds and to get people involved, and to include me and a lot of other people. So thank you, Anne and producer Liz. I'm very grateful for that opportunity. So yeah, I was in Oklahoma. I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was at the Health and Freedom Conference, Reopen America. And how many of you watched online the live stream? Put a yes or no in the chat, something like that. It was incredibly long. It was 12-hour days, both days, and so they did say that they would upload the individual speakers onto Rumble. And so if you go to rumble.com and look up the Thrive Time show, I think Thrive Time is all one word. If you go look that up, you will, in the next few days, you'll start to find um, individual speakers, because there were dozens and dozens of speakers. So that will be very helpful, because the information that we got during this weekend was just really unbelievably helpful. People were talking about the health aspect of it. They were talking about the freedom aspect of everything. They were talking about the pandemic. They were talking about some very detailed situations. They were talking about schools. They were talking about the children, all kinds of things. And it's definitely worth watching. It's going to be a lot easier to watch when they get everything uploaded onto Rumble. I know that they were having issues during the weekend with some of the streaming, because there were thousands of people trying to get their streams out. So some of the streaming video was spotty. And so what I believe they're going to be doing on Rumble is they're going to be taking the original video and uploading those original videos that were not streamed out, the raw footage. and they're going to be editing and putting that information up on Rumble so that everybody can watch it. So, so I think that's going to be great. So much out there that you can share. I'm going to try to find that original link. There is a okay, there is a link for the entire conference. Okay, so Pete Santilli put the entire conference on his website. So write this down because some of it was put on YouTube, but I think that some of it might have been taken it down. And so let's see. It's petersantilli.com, Santilli, santilli.com. And he put up the entire 2 days. And I think it's on his Vimeo page. So anyway, petersantilli.com, that site. Okay. M is cut off. It's .com. All right. So so yeah, I think it just it's well worth your time. So what I recommend is that you go and you just pull up the stream and you just start playing, and then you remember if you get interrupted, just take a break and note of where you left off and then come back. Every single minute of it was completely worth your time. And this is something that we are reopening America, and we are taking back our freedoms. And there was so much practical information on how to do that, and on how to get involved at the local level, how to get involved, from the health front and things like that. General Flynn, I think, was one of the most encouraging because he really drove home the idea that it is just critical for Americans and Canadians and Europeans to take back your cities, your towns, your parishes, townships, wherever it is that you are, your county, that you get involved and that you take action, that you take imperfect action and just get started. Whether it means that you go down to your local election board, that you start asking, how are you doing our elections? What are you using machines? What are you doing to count votes? Like simple steps like that, just take them. Because we're beyond that point where you can sit back and say, this is horrible, somebody do something. Well, guess what? That somebody is you. And I had the privilege of talking to Rachel Ham. Do you guys know who she is? She's a podcaster. She has a YouTube channel, The Rachel Ham Show, RachelHamm. And she is just lovely. She's a prophetic, spirit-filled Christian. She is really just bringing the truth. And she's one of those people. She's a mom of 4, and she has been extremely distressed about what's going on in California and in the rest of the country. And so she was sitting there, talking to God about it and saying, I wish somebody would do something. And God just said, hey, how about you do something? So she has decided she's exploring the idea of she's exploring the idea of running Secretary of State for the state of California. That's big. That's really huge. So keep her in your prayers. If you're in California and you are involved in elections, if you have a way, if you want to get involved, she hasn't started building a team yet, but she is going to need a team of volunteers to help her social media, ground game, door knocking, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's a really important position. And so just keep her in your prayers. She is going to take that step. And so, I don't think she has completely jumped in and filed yet, but I believe that she's much closer now than she was 2 days ago. So I've been in touch with her since then, and that's the thing that we're talking about. And I've used the example of Sean Foyt before. Sean Foyt is the worship leader who's doing the Let Us Worship tour around the country. He was running for Congress in California, up in he's from Vacaville, so up there north of of San Francisco, and he ran for Congress. He didn't get the nomination, but the thing that happened as a result of that is that he was just elevated. God raised him up for such a time as this, and because for Congress, more and more people got to know his name, and then he started doing worship, and that was all during the pandemic. And he has taken a stand, and he's going around the country now. He's going around the country to lead worship and be as part of the Great Awakening that's happening. It's just unbelievable. It's incredible. And so I believe God is positioning people, and he's rewarding the he sees what you're doing. And so there's no wasted nothing is wasted in God's economy. And so I'm so encouraged. I'm encouraged by like Rachel Ham, who are running for office. I'm encouraged by, I don't know if you saw the speech that Gene Ho gave. He was one of President Trump's photographers, and he is running for mayor of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for the same reason. He's never run for office. He's a photographer. He traveled with the president, and he's deaf, and he's running for mayor of that city. So this is what I saw coming out of this. It was very encouraging because so many people are taking steps in this direction. So many people are doing just the small things. They're taking steps, and they're taking imperfect action. The reason that I use that expression imperfect action is because it keeps from getting stuck in analysis paralysis. God knows our hearts. He knows that we're not always going to get it right the first time. But what he's looking for is just that we take steps, that we take those steps of faith, that we take action, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Only God is perfect. Let's face it. And so why I use that expression so often. And what happens when you take imperfect action, that momentum starts to build. So sometimes it's just a question of taking that one step, making that call, sending that email, making that inquiry, asking that one thing. And then when you do that, you'll notice that things start to move, that doors start to open. And sometimes it's not even the door that you originally thought you were knocking, but God has a way of directing you, helping you get to that place is part of your destiny when you just simply take those steps and you take imperfect action. And that's what I've been seeing. I've seen it. I saw it so much this week, so much during the conference, that I met so many people who have really just put themselves out there and taken action to do certain things. And God has just steered them. So I want to encourage all of you to do that. I want to read and turn off the news, turn off the media, get quiet with God, and just ask him, what steps should I take right now to help my country, to serve my community, to serve even my neighbor. Sometimes that's where it starts. How do I do that? What do you want me to do? And I think that you'll be amazed at ideas come up. And so, that's all it takes is just a little tiny seed. And speaking of that, there's one action that I want to tell you about. That would be there's something that I've been thinking about, because one of the challenges that we face is getting the truth out. I apologize for the stream. Somebody just came in and said there's lots of skips. We're just going to go on without it. I think it's a streaming program. We're just going to keep going. Okay. So there's something that I wanted to show you, because I think this is really cool what somebody's doing. There's a Telegram channel that I follow. It's called The White Rose. And this is what it looks like. The White Rose. See that? Um, so this is pretty cool because what they do is, um, um, let's see. What they do is this: they have a system of printing out stickers, just posting them all over the place, and they have little messages that they print out. They get these label printers, and they tell you exactly how to do it. I'm going to share one of these into my Telegram channel so that you can see it. I think that anyone can do this. And so here's what they do. They print these stickers and then people post them. Let me show you one. So they have a link to Telegram, but you can do this, you can be creative. You see that? That's a sticker that somebody printed on one of these little brother printers, and then it has a link to their Telegram. Okay? Somebody create a meme and they just stick it on a wall or wherever. Okay, and like for example, when I was at the conference, I got to talk to Mike Smith. He's the creator of outofshadows.org, that documentary that he made a year ago, and he gave me he didn't give me a card, he gave me stickers. And so those stickers, I was sticking them in strategic places around maybe the hotel. And so now it has a link, it has his web address on there. So think about this. Think about how you can create a meme or something with a QR code where you can send, where you can put these up. Like I may or may not put these stickers over those ridiculous posters that say that you should stay 6 feet away from people. That may or may not be a good place to put a sticker. Uh, Maybe on the grocery carts at the store, on the little app thing, right? Maybe that might be, maybe in the ladies' room. I don't know. So think about it, because think about the fact media is controlling the narrative, and so it's extremely hard to get the truth out. And so as you have resources and useful information, you could get yourself one of these printers and you can, create a meme and print it out, multiple stickers. It's a sticker, like a roll of stickers that you can get. Just slap these things anywhere. Okay? So think about that. And let me show you another one that they made. They have okay, they have templates that you can use, and or you can, okay? Because they have a link to the White Rose Telegram. But what I'm saying is that you can put any web address. You can put a web address to something that I'm about to show you about how people can opt out legally on religious grounds from being forced to take anything into their bodies, whether it's at work or school or wherever. So here's one that they put up. It says, if face work, why do small businesses need to be closed? Don't work, why are we being forced to wear them? So you see that? And the whole idea here is that, this is about choice. That one, somebody put that one on a trash can somewhere. This is about choice. So we're not saying that if anybody wants to wear it, they can't. We're saying that people should always be given the choice. If anybody makes something and have injected it into their body, that's their choice. They should never be forced. And so this is, and people should also be given an opportunity to get truth, to get information. And the mainstream media has been the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. And so because of that, people have been deprived of the opportunity to actually access the truth. Big tech and the media have been conspiring to suppress information. And I've been thinking about this for a long time because I think that, you know, in the day Martin Luther, what he did was he nailed the theses on the doors of the cathedral at Worms. And so that's how he got the word out. That's how the Reformation started, by pasting a leaflet on a door. And that's how things were done in the old days, before the internet and before big tech censorship. I've been thinking about going around the neighborhood and leaving flyers around and things like that. So I think this is a really effective way to get the message out. You don't have to type entire web page. You don't have to type up page after page after information. Just put an effective message on a sticker and get it out there, and you put a QR code on. People can just scan and go and find. Because, for example, the Bollingers, who have a website, the truth about the C word, that big pharma has suppressed the cures. You can't search their website; it's suppressed. You can but you can type it in directly and find it. It's hidden by Google search. I mean, so this is a really good strategy. I'm going to start doing it. And anybody else who wants to take this on, this is action that you can take. If you want to create templates, if you're good with graphics, let me know. info@marygracemedia.com. We can create a way to start sharing template work for the message that we want to get across. And so, for example, there's a website that you can go to today that will help you to get the proper documentation to opt out. Minnie, I knew you would love the sticker idea. I have some ideas of where you might put them. Yeah, here's a website that I want you to go to. Make a note of this, because this is very important, and I want you to share it with everybody you know. If you know somebody who is telling you that their child has to have something put into their body and they have to have proof of that before they go to school or university, this is important. If you or somebody you know is being told that you have to get this before you can go to work or in order to keep your job, this is important, because there is a way every single individual is entitled to religious exemption. And there was a doctor at the conference who talked about this, and I met her and I talked to her, and she has a website where they've created these links so that you can simply go there and you can download these forms. And so her website is called forunitedsolutions.org, O-R-G, forunitedsolutions.org. And so she has a whole section here where you can download. So you have to click on the section of her website that for religious exemptions, just exemptions. But that's where you're going to go, okay? forunitedsolutions.org, okay? And you're going to download. She has step by step everything you need to do. All right, download and print the form. There's a section for children. There are a couple of states that will not accept religious exemptions for K through 12: California, New York, Maine, Mississippi, West Virginia. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And this thing that this woman has actually been working on, and pay attention to your state legislature and do not let them cut the religious exemptions in your state. That's important. Start paying attention to that. Make sure to get your religious exemption form notarized. So she goes through all of the steps. All right, and then it says there's a section here for if your state requires a signature from a clergy to back up your request for a religious exemption. All right. It's all right there. This is very well done. All right. forunitedsolutions.org, click on religious exemptions. So I believe everybody here understands and knows what we're talking about right now. We are being, watched and censored, so I have to be careful. By the way, I did apply for a channel on frankspeech.org.com, Mike Lindell's new platform. So hopefully we'll be over there soon. And we are on Cloud Hub as well, channel 111. So this is great. This is the kind of information that we got at the conference. This is the very, very practical things. And this is one person. This is one doctor who had a really bad situation where she was pregnant and she a shot, and it actually caused her almost. And then she went through a series of events where she had 6 different doctors who told her to abort the baby because of the situation that she found herself in. Needless to say, she didn't abort her baby. Her story was told on Friday at the conference. And so when you go through, I can't remember her name, I wrote it down. But when you go through the conference, when you're looking at different speakers, she was wearing a green dress, really pretty green dress. So look for that, when you're sliding through, when you're fast forwarding. It was kind of, I can't remember at what point in the day, but the doctor who started this. So she took the steps to put together this resource for you. Anybody can do this kind of thing. This is what I'm talking about. You don't have to be a politician. You don't have to be an attorney. Shannon, thank you, Delia. It's not a sad story because she had her baby, and her is doing fine, and so her child, I think he's 9 years old. But so here's the thing, you you just like her. I mean, she was, a woman who got pregnant, who happened to be a doctor. She had an experience that really opened her eyes. And she, because of her experience, decided to take action and do something that would help a lot of other people. And now she's an activist. She didn't wake up one day and decide, hey, I'm going to activist. So this is what I'm talking about, that every single one of you has the ability to take steps and to take act to do things that are going to make a difference. Not everyone is going to be talking on a show. Not everyone is going to be a politician. Not everyone is going to run for office. But there are things that you can do, even if you have the administration, for example. Like I was saying, that is a wonderful gift that some of us don't have. And so, if you are good at organizing and coordinating and creating a structure, for example, like the sticker project, that kind of thing, that's important. So don't underestimate who you are and what gifts you have. Okay. So I think it's really exciting because we're in an exciting time where we're getting called into action. General Flynn, like I said, he was one of the people that really drove that home. And another example I have of that is Mike Lindell. So you think about Mike Lindell, and I was watching his show today, his documentary that he created, Absolute Interference, that was on his channel. And he was saying, when he was talking to the witnesses that he brought on, he said, I was never into politics before. I was an addict. I was a businessman. I was an addict. I didn't think anything about this. He wasn't sitting there going to cocktail parties and trying to think about how he was going to save the republic with a documentary. He started his company. He has been very extremely successful with that. He just happens to be incredibly passionate, loves America, loves data, loves analyzing data, and wants our country to be saved. And so, because he has the resources and because God has really blessed him and his business, he's put himself out there, and he has made the decision to fund and to back and create not only a social media platform but documentaries where anybody can see the evidence of what happened in the election. And so that's another great example that he went outside of his comfort zone in a way. he moved himself into politics. He opened himself up to unbelievable attacks. If you remember last summer in the Rose Garden when he was talking about the Bible and the gospel, he got attacked just horribly, relentlessly by the left. And so he really opened himself up, but God is blessing him. God is using him to bring inspiration and to bring the truth. And that is what is so, so, so important, is that he hasn't backed down. And in fact, he's extremely strategic. And I think I told you guys this. I told you my guess was that a lot of the stuff that he does, very much like Donald Trump, is that he's incredibly strategic in the way that he interacts with the media. And he lets them think and believe that he's not very smart. And he comes across sometimes as being kind of naive. Did you notice that? Well, he story at the dinner on Thursday night, he story about how he wanted to get the media to cover his first docu that was the Absolute Proof. And they had been bugging him, hounding him, leading up to that. And then when he dropped that file, or when he uploaded it, it got censored. But the media didn't talk to him. Nobody called him, and so he figured out a way to get the media to talk to him again. And that was, he decided to get his Twitter account banned. Do you remember that, when he got banned on Twitter? Well, he did that on purpose. He purposely started posting things on Twitter that would get him banned. And so then that became a story. So he actually intentionally did that, but understands how media works. He understands how marketing works. And so he intentionally got himself banned on Twitter. And then the media started calling him. Whenever he got on the news, he would start talking about the election interference and the proof that he has. Remembers when he went on Newsmax and he was there to talk one thing theoretically, and then he started talking about the election fraud, and he started talking about the machines that start with a D. Do you remember that? And do you remember when the announcer completely stormed off the show? And he did that a few times because these people are controlled and they don't want to be shut down. They're scared. They're scared of the overlords that are running big tech and the media. And so he used that. He actually contrived and manipulated the situation so that he could get back on the news. And he did it by getting his Twitter account banned. And then when the news cycle died down a little, he still wasn't getting enough publicity. So he decided to get my Pillow account banned. And this is so good. I loved listening to this story because it was funny, because he said, it was like 1:30 in the morning and I really wanted to go to bed, but I went back on the news. So I was trying to think of ways to get the My Pillow account banned because I had already gotten my personal account banned. And he was thinking of all these ways to he was tweeting at Jack, right? The CEO of Twitter. And then the first time he did it, all the bots and trolls came, but he still didn't get banned. And then he decided to tweet Jack and say, "Hey Jack, you're going to jail," or something like that. And then that got his channel suspended, right? So he got the My Pillow channel banned. Well, then of course that's news. And so the next day his phone was ringing and he got back on the news because they wanted to talk to him about getting banned on Twitter. And then he started talking about the election theft again. So for any of you who think that the Pillow guy is not very smart, that he's kind of naive, and that he that he doesn't know what he's doing, wrong. he's really smart, just like the president. He's very strategic, and I got to see that firsthand. And so just keep him in your prayers, because the Lord is giving him wisdom. The Lord is guiding him, and he's being faithful to what God is calling him to do. And that is what I saw over and over and over during the weekend conference. I was with people who have simply answered the call. They have been called to do something, even if it's a small thing, but it all works together. We're working together to rebuild and to save our republic. So I think that the pillow guy is going to be very instrumental in saving our republic, even though the elites in the media and big tech think he's stupid. So it's important to understand, and every single one of us has every single one of us. And one of the things that I wanted to point out too that really struck me at the conference was, I had the opportunity to meet almost everybody. I met Lin Wood. I talked to him. I talked to Mike Lindell. Um, I talked to. I met Mike Smith. I met Patrick Byrne. Who else did I meet? Um, General Flynn. I'm before, but I got to talk to him. And so the thing that I have been struck with in every single encounter that I had at this conference was that the people that you see on stage, the people that you see on TV, these individuals, the Mike Lindell, General Flynn, Lin Wood, when you see somebody on TV, when you see somebody out in public like that, there's always the question of, what are they really like? What is that person? Are they the real deal? Or are they just like this for TV? And I want to tell you that one of the biggest takeaways that I got from, standing and talking to these people, not just, shaking their hand, getting their autograph or whatever, but being able to look in their eyes and talk to them, is that this is they're incredibly real. What you see is what you get. And there's, I have a really good sense spiritually about people, and that was what I got. Just incredible kindness, incredible depth, incredible caring. The caring that you see and hear about in the messaging, it's real. And that is what I saw over and over and over again. These are real people who love our country, who love the truth, who love God, and who are just following the call God has on their life. That's it. They're not trying to get famous. They're not trying to be celebrities. They're just answering the call. And so it really, it should make all of you feel good to know that. So I just I'm so grateful that I got to experience that and to see it and to be able to come back and tell you these are the real thing. These people are real. And and I'll tell you a funny story about Lynn in just a second. Somebody asked about Health Ranger. It was I was with Anne when she was having a conversation with him, but I didn't get to meet him formally. But I did see him. They were talking about Mike Adams. And so, yeah, these are just incredibly real people. And who else? Oh, I met Amanda Grace, you guys. Don't remind me to tell the story about Lin Wood. Um, I met Amanda Grace, and I didn't get to meet Pastor Dave, but I got to meet his wife, Christine. Just absolutely lovely. I really, it was such a pleasure to meet her. And Amanda Grace was backstage. She was praying for people as they went on stage, which was amazing, unbelievable, incredible that she was doing that. And she, and then she was back there with Pastor Dave. So I was backstage, and I was talking to her, and I was talking to Christine, and then I got to meet another woman from His Glory, and I can't remember her name. So if you're watching, I apologize. But it was the sweetest thing because this woman who works with Dave, I was standing there with Amanda and Christine, Pastor Dave's wife, and then this other woman, and it was so sweet because she stopped and she said, "Let me pray for you, Amanda, because you are out there, you're doing the work of God and you're praying for other people and your word and the truth. And so I want to bless you and pray for you. So she prayed a blessing over us. And so Pastor Dave's wife and this other lady and me and Amanda, we all got to pray together. Actually, we got prayed for. So it was really beautiful. And so it was just little moments like that that I got to experience. And again, I'm just so grateful that I was able to be there and to have that access and that experience and just to meet those people. It really was probably a top 5 of conferences and events that I've been to in my life, maybe the top 3, just because of how genuine and how caring the people are that I met. Just unbelievable. I also I met the producers, one of the producers of Flashpoint of the Victory Channel, and so I got to talk to her. And there, God has just raised up so many avenues in the truth. The Victory Channel isn't even that new old. They've been around not very long, and she said they just took a step of faith and they started broadcasting, and God has really elevated them. I also got to meet Pastor Hank Kuhneman. You guys know who Hank is? That was one of the first people that I met. He was at the VP dinner, and I really, really like him. You know, he's one of the pillars in the prophetic movement, and again, absolutely as genuine as could be. Just I can't even describe just being able to talk to him, shake his hand. He was there with his son and then another one of his team, and just really beautiful. You know, got to talk a little bit to his son and his other staff member who was there with him, and the cool thing is, you know, I had my business card with me, and I was giving it, you know, I was giving it to people, and you know, trying to get their information, and I was asking people if they would come on my show, and everybody said yes. So, you know, and it was so encouraging. It was really because I don't have a big show right now, you know, because I got taken off Twitter and my audience, my reach down, and they weren't nobody that I talked to was sitting there calculating and trying to figure out, okay, is this a big name? Is it worth my time? Should I go on this show? I don't know who this person is, right? They weren't acting like that. They were just incredibly genuine. So that was really neat. I was surprised in a good way. Okay, so let me talk to you about. Let me show you. Let me show you Lynn Wood. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, right. Here's me with Mike Lindell. Do you want to see this? I don't know if I put this one in the Telegram room. There, there I am. See that? Okay. He really likes having his picture taken with people. That's the other thing. Like he's not unapproachable. None of them are. They're all very approachable. And then and this is me with Lynn Wood. So I saw him backstage. So here he is. So cool. Okay. So this is a selfie, and it's so funny because I took this selfie and then I pulled the camera in to look at it, and he goes, "Okay, let me ask you something." He said, "When you look at the picture, are you trying to if you look good or if I look good or both?" It was really funny. And so did I lose volume here, or is it just one person? Hopefully I didn't lose it. So okay. And then but the thing is I actually got to speak a word over Lynn Wood. And and that was pretty cool that I was able to really bless and uh, give a give him a word from God. That was amazing. And so yeah, so it was really cool. And so I was just incredibly blessed to be there, and it was yeah, just a privilege and an honor to be able to talk to so many people. And I met, you know, I met these guys, but these guys are the first to tell you that, you know, they're just the same as you or me. They're being obedient, and they're stepping up and answering the call to serve our country. And General Flynn is really adamant about this. Even like he said, a lot of times people come to him and they say, I wish that I had served in the military. I didn't really get to serve my country. And he tells them, he says, stop, because you can serve your country. You can take action at the local level. You can take action in your school board, in your election board, et cetera, et cetera. He said, everybody can serve their country. And that was really just a huge takeaway from this end. And the person that I want to mention that I've been thinking a lot about is Clay Clark. And if you watched the conference, how many of you heard of Clay Clark before this conference? How many of you knew who he was? Raise your hands. Did anybody know? Looking to see. Okay. Not people knew who he was unless you listened to his business podcast. So Clay Clark is a broadcaster. He's a business coach. He's, like I said, he's like Grant Cardone or Gary Vee, really motivator. And so he was the organizer and the MC of this conference. And I just have to tell you, one of the reasons that this conference was amazing was because of Clay Clark, because he carries like the fun anointing, and the thing that I think he did that was so incredibly brilliant is that, we had this conference which featured some incredibly heavy topics. I mean, they were talking about the children, the healthcare landscape, the freedom situation. I mean, order some really incredibly hefty topics. And if in any other situation, I think that people on away just feeling the weight of everything. Like, wow, that was heavy. And if you heard Lin Wood talk on Saturday night, he was the last speaker, you know what I mean. I mean, just bringing the fire. And yet Clay Clark has just this incredible gift of being able to add levity and to lighten up the situation without making light of the seriousness of why we were there. That is a real gift. That's an incredibly special gift. And he put himself out there, and he took the time, and he took the risk to do this. He risked his whole business, his whole reputation to put along here. And I really believe that God just catapulted him into the stratosphere. He's going to be doing these conferences around the country. He said, if you have a church, if you have access to a venue of 2,000 or more, get in touch with him, because they're going to do this around the country. And so, I mean, I really encourage you to go and listen and get a taste of who this man, because he's just a gift from God to the whole universe. One of the best things that he did that I thought was incredible is they had a shofar fest. Did you guys watch that? Did you? It was on Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday? I think it was Friday. No, I can't remember. Anyway, so they had a shofar blowing contest, and so all these people brought their shofars because they had been told to, and they were lined up on the stage, and people would come up and blow the shofar. It's not that easy. I've never blown one, but apparently it's not that easy. And so, people were taking, hey, it was Friday. Thank you, Delia. I've lost track of time. I think it was right before we went to dinner. And so anyway, people were, people were up there blowing the shofars, which is amazing in itself. And then some people were amazing, some people not so good, some people had to have a second chance, again, because it's not that easy. It takes practice. And so the first people, he would listen to them. He'd say, okay, you go over here. You're in the top 3. And then like after the 6th or 7th one, he's going, okay, you're in the top 3. And it was so good because everybody was in the top 3. And he just has such a special way about him. It reminded me of camp. If anybody ever has been to Young Life Camp, it was like that. Just absolutely the amazing the way that he balanced all of that. So a couple of things that I want you to do. I want you to write to Clay. First of all, I want you to the conference, but secondly, I want you to write to Clay Clark at Thrive Time and just let him know how powerfully God used him to put out this conference, if that touches your heart. But also, Rhema Bible Church in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, that church opened up to this conference. They were the only venue that would bring in a conference without all the ridiculous CDC nonsense. And so, there was none of all the recommendations that they have said, which we know have been proven to be just control mechanisms. And so they opened up their church really with a very short notice. It was less than a month between the time he announced it and the time they put it on. They had security there. They had incredible security, metal detectors. But not only that, they opened the whole place, right? Um, but not only that, they had food. They brought food trucks both days. This first day they had a Chick-fil-A truck. The day they had a Domino's truck. It was free. They were just the food's given out. You just went out, stood in line, got your food. It was crazy. And just that was just the generosity that we experienced at this church. Oh, and they had big barrels of water that you could just bottle and have at it. So it was just that's what we so Rhema or HEMA Bible Church in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Just go online, write them a letter, write them an email, just tell them just how grateful you are. Make an offering. They didn't ask for any money. People bought tickets, but they didn't ask for money to they didn't ask for money to get in. Okay. And then also, so Clay Clark, Thrive Time, just reach out to those people and encourage them and tell them how grateful you are, because they set the stage and they laid the groundwork for the future of these conferences, which were incredibly useful. And so right, I told you about the links to the conference. One other thing, and then I wanted to read you something. Praying Medic is on Telegram. People have been wondering about where he's been. I know, and he's on Telegram. If you get his letter, you probably got a link to his Telegram channel. But I wanted to tell you this because if the easiest way to find his Telegram channel is to go to his website, prayingmedic.com, and click on the link directly. If you're on Telegram already, I'm just going to tell you what it's called. I'm going to tell you what it looks like, because there are there's lots of channels. There are some Praying Medic channels that are not the official channel. Okay. He also has a chat, but let me find the channel. It's called Praying Medic, and it is the link. You know how you go to Telegram? So it's t.me/praying_medic. So it looks like this. And then his website, prayingmedic.com. Like I said, you can go to his website. Okay, so that's where it is if you want to take a screenshot, because there are some other channels that say Praying Medic, but they're not his channel. So he is the one posting on this. Pepper Potts is managing it. So there it is. Right? So if you're seeing channels, they're like fan channels. They're not the official Praying Medic. So be aware of that if you want to follow him on Telegram. He is posting on Telegram. And he put a video of himself also, just saying, this is me. But that's it. That's the only. And I wanted to read you something that the Lord told me last week, because the things that I've been telling you today are important because the Lord is looking for people who are faithful. And he's now exposing ministry. He's been exposing corruption in he's been exposing people in media, in the courts, politics, both sides of the aisle, all of that. And now he told me, and I think a lot of people are seeing this, is that he's exposing the clergy, the lay ministers, things like this. And on the same, the other side of the coin is that he is honoring and blessing those people who have stayed and stood steadfast. So, for example, Johnny Enlow, Hank Kunneman, Kat Kerr, Elijah List, Steve Schultz, His Glory, Amanda Grace. These people have not wavered. Clay Clark, they have stood firm and stood fast. Mike Lindell. But specifically in the ministry realm, the Lord told me something last week, a week ago, and I wanted to read you this. Okay, so I woke up one morning. This scripture was on my mind, and the Lord started talking to me. He said, so this is from Psalm 91, because he has loved me, for I will deliver him. That was a scripture that I heard. And then this is what the Lord said. I wrote it down. He said, I am purging my church, my body, of that which does not align with my will for this nation. The remnant are those who have stood fast in this time and championed my cause and all those like him who have put their lives and fortunes on the line to protect and preserve the covenant that I made with your forefathers. All will be revealed, and many will not make it through. All will be revealed, and many will not make it through the sifting. They will fall with the chaff. I see what man does not see. I see heart, and I'm telling you, there are many good, and that's in quotes, good ones who will fall because they valued man and mammon above my will for this nation. Surprises are coming. Abide in me. And that was what the Lord gave me a week ago today. And so I wanted to encourage you to know, that God is watching and He sees your heart. He sees the heart of the people that are out there, putting themselves out there. And that was something that I was able to see when I was interacting at the conference with you. I was able to experience and to see these people, these are the real deal. And so I just wanted to encourage you with that. The Lord is paying attention, and he is not given up on this country, and He is in no way take it back. And so, but the choices that we make are important. And so, think about the choices that you're making, and whether you're going to stand firm and what kind of stand you're going to take. I've completely lost the chat, so I don't know if people are here or not. Let's see. Okay, let me know if you're still here. So last announcement. Those of you who have been wanting superfoods, I think I have to sneeze. Hold on a second. Maybe not. Okay. One of the things that was one thing about my trip was that I took my superfood with me, and I was powered by superfoods pretty much the whole time, which is fantastic. On the road, driving, I had a really long drive. I took it all with me, and just, I'm back after an incredibly long drive, not much sleep, et cetera, et cetera. And I can't even tell you, how grateful I am for superfoods. And what is it? It's just a lifestyle that I have adapted, but also we have a 30-day reset, 30, 60, or 90-day superfood reset that you can do. And a lot of people have taken the challenge and gotten the superfood in their life. And many of you had it just to keep going and make this your lifestyle. And that's the whole point, is taking back your health. You're taking back your health freedom. And so I want to make sure that everybody has that opportunity. And so I have a promo code to give you over $100 off retail on your first order of superfoods, and so that you can get the superfood reset for you and your family. And I actually have a link now that you can go to get that. It's called superfoodreset.com. Superfoodreset.com. And again, I apologize for the glitchy feed. I don't know what's on. I think it's something to do with my program, and I'll have to troubleshoot that later. Um, so yeah, superfoodreset.com. I'm going to type that in. Superfood reset. There it is. Okay, go to superfoodreset.com, and you can just put in your information, and then you'll get an email. So check your junk mail just in case it doesn't come right away. Give me your name and email, and that's it. So that's going to be fantastic. It's a little bit easier because you don't have to wait for me to answer my emails. Sometimes that takes a while. Superfoodreset.com, and you'll get your voucher to save over $100 off of the superfoods. It's organic, green superfoods, the best on the planet, in my opinion, delivered right to your door. Couldn't be easier. And so make sure you do that. Also, if you support the show, I wanted to tell you, first of all, thank you to everybody that has supported Mary Grace Media. The trip that I just took, I was able to do that because of your generous support of this channel. I was able to, have a budget and make the trip, and to be, pay for the hotel, et cetera. And that was because of you. So if you want to continue to support that, and to support what I'm bringing you, everything internet to the live streaming programs, to the equipment, to the travel, that kind of thing, that's what that money gets used for. Go to marygracemedia.com and click on support. You can do a one-time or a monthly pledge. Either one works. marygracemedia.com support, and you can partner with the channel. Now, if you buy superfoods, I do get a commission from that, so that also tremendously. And superfoodreset.com. Superfoodreset.com. Very easy to get that voucher. Let's see if anybody else is making comments here. Yeah, it's just an incredibly nutritious and actually tasty way to reset your health. So listen, I will be back on Thursday of this week, Thursday at 5 Eastern. I'll bring you another show. Make sure you're following my Telegram channel. It's Mary Grace Media Official. Make follow me on Facebook and YouTube, Mary Grace Media. And then on Twitter, it's Real Mary Grace 1. I think that's my Twitter account. Real Mary Grace 1. Yeah. And so make sure that you're following. Okay. All right. Did Barley miss me? He missed me. So it was the cutest thing. I got home yesterday afternoon, and I pulled up under the carport, and my dad's in his 80s, you guys know, and he and Barley, my dad opened the door. Barley was sitting right there. They were both waiting for me. It was adorable. And Barley has been doing me around the house, just wanting love and affection, just the sweetest thing ever, and wants me to play with him. He was helping me set the show, and then he disappeared. He was helping me, and then he disappeared. So that that was nice. It was nice to have them, waiting for me when I got back. But I had a really good house sitter here, and Barley likes her, my dad likes her, and so that was great. I didn't worry a minute while I was gone, and everybody's great. Everybody's doing fine, and so it was just a blessing. But did me, yeah, my baby, my lap cat. He's so big. He's so big. He was right here on the stool under my desk, trying to help me get ready. But he sits up on his little tower, and he hits you when you walk by. Right? He's batting at you. But really cute. He's adorable. So I will try to get him on sometime. He goes and goes to sleep when I'm broadcasting. I don't know where he is. He must be upstairs with. So anyway, I'll try to get him on the show. But thank you again for. Remember, if you want to get the superfoods, it's just go to foodreset.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can do it. You can do it through the um, you can do it the website marygracemedia.com, or you can email me info@marygracemedia.com. As usual, if you send a link or a video, I ask that you provide some context, because I don't click on links that don't have context and explanation, because I want to avoid viruses and porn and things like that. So, and then just really short, if you send a message, I just have a lot of emails that I handle and messages. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching today. And to you who didn't, for those of you who missed the con, or who want to continue watching it, the easiest place right now is at Pete Santilli's channel. Peter, I showed you guys that, Peter Santilli. And yeah, so let me just find him, make sure you get it. Here we go. I think he used the name. Yeah, petersantilli.com. The reference is on there. It's on his Vimeo. All right. Glad you had a good time at the conference. Yeah, you missed it, but I think more. And if you have a pastor or church in your town that is willing to host one of these conferences, please reach out to Thrive Time, to Clay Clark. Okay, so I'll be back on Thursday, guys. Have a great evening, and I will be back Thursday, the 22nd at 5:30 glitch before I come back. Sorry about that.